Hi, and welcome to Video Books. Today I'm going to do with you a very interesting book by the name of Getting Naked by the author Patrick Lencioni. Patrick Lencioni has written some tremendous books, and this is his latest that I wanted to share with you. I do hope that you're going to enjoy it. Getting Naked recently, but he's been around for a while. Let me tell you a little bit about Patrick so that you can appreciate where he comes from and why there's so much of value in this book. One of the things about Patrick is that he is the president of the Table Group, and he has been doing specialized consulting focused on organizational health. His 9 books have sold 3 million copies around the world. So that makes him a fairly well-read author around the world. And he's been featured in Business Work and Fast Company, in USA Today, in Fortune, in HBR, and truly a man worth listening to. One of the books that he's been most famous for is The 5 Dysfunctions of Team. And in another episode, I'm going to actually cover that book. But do get a hold of that book as well. It's well worth reading and adding to your library. So this is kind of counterintuitive. It's not what you expect. And the kind of advice he gives, it makes you start thinking, really? But you must think about it because it's really a different way of dealing with clients. As a business coach, I find the many ways in which people sabotage themselves and their companies to grow and to become everything that they were meant to be. And this book really talks about how we sabotage client loyalty, 3 fears that sabotage client loyalty. So let's get into the first one. The first one is the fear of losing the business, fear of losing the business. And so because we're afraid of it, having worked so hard and you've got it, and you avoid doing the difficult thing. You avoid doing the difficult thing. And in protecting yourself, the client gets it that you care more about getting his money rather than helping him succeed. And that once the client gets, he gets a very clear idea, no, I'm not sure that I want to work with this guy. Do I trust him? And those kind of questions start rising in the mind of your. The second fear is that of being embarrassed. This is the disease of experts. You don't want to say the wrong thing, and so you hold back the question that you really need to ask about. Third fear, the fear of feeling inferior. And this is really about posturing and pretending and presenting a sense of self-importance. But you consider that the word service is where we get the word servant, and it's something kind of missing over there when you have this kind of fear. So how do you overcome the fear? The first one, the fear of losing the business. Here is what Patrick says: enter the danger. Instead of trying to sell, just consult, give it away, speak the truth in love, and that goes a long way in overcoming this fear. So what do you need? Courage, as simple as that. And if you can tell the truth to your client, that matters. And so, we have this concept of the pink elephant in the room. You got to speak it out. You got to tell them what you really say, rather than what they want to hear you say. So this is my interpretation about Patrick's work, that you've got to have empathy for your client, and you've got to have honesty. Empathy with honesty. And so if you're just giving empathy to your client, that's just being a weak friend. And if you're just being honest, well, you're just being a jerk also. So I think you need to have sensitivity to where the client is at, but to tell them and let them know what really you're thinking about the situation. Overcoming the fear of embarrassment. This is a very simple one. Ask a dumb question. Ask the simple stuff. Ask the obvious ones. Because what it really does, it surfaces the assumptions that people have been making, and that goes a long way. Sometimes that's all they are, just a dumb question. But they get it that you are concerned to go much beyond the surface into really what's happening deep down inside. Now you might say, I'm feeling really vulnerable about doing something like this because I don't know how the client is going to react. What if he has me for lunch? But I want you to really start thinking, what if you got rid of those pretty masks? Because that's all it is. You got to throw them away. You got to become transparent so that you can really, truly add value to your client. Overcoming fear 3, the fear of feeling inferior. And this is what Patrick really talks about in terms of, just take the bullet for the client, okay? Sometimes you got to roll up the sleeves and do the dirty work. And you got to do some of the things that are hard for the client to do You do it for him and with him so that they can succeed. So are we really hiding behind, thick reports, jargon, a dense presentation that nobody can really understand, and they don't ask you and challenge you enough? Is that a form of actually sabotaging ourselves? I think so. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, whoa, I'm not going there. You know what? Here's my suggestion. Why not try a micro version? Do something small, see how it turns out, and I wouldn't be surprised if your client is delighted with that kind of attitude from you. The Greek word for gym is gymnasio, which really means to practice naked. And I really want you to practice naked, perhaps not just with your client, but maybe with your family as well, with your friends. Just being honest, and that becomes a way of life that allows you to be truly successful. I recommend you to get your copy of Getting Naked, get it from any of the bookstores, and why not talk to your team about it as to how they could add much greater value to their client by getting naked. Thank you. This is Bert Charian here, signing off from this edition of Video Books. Look forward to seeing you soon sometime. Thanks so much. Thanks for watching. Bye now.